I've realized one of my skills with these car videos is holding books in my hand with one hand and recording with the other hand. It's not always easy, and I gotta admit, I've got two books, on my lap right now. One of them has a penguin sticker sheet as a bookmark, and I was like, man, this is pretty tough, balancing these books in my lap and then reading from them with stickers, sticker sheets hanging out as bookmarks. I manifested it. Today I thought we would continue with our short series. I guess we'll call it a series. I'll probably make a playlist out of it. I've started to do that now, is make playlists out of, topics, basically. My earlier videos, there basically are not playlists except for like Nevo playlists and a few seminars. I'm sorry about that. I mean, it's at this point, I'm not going to reshuffle and try to sort that stuff out. But especially if you're new to my channel and you want to hear a lot of interesting information about these teachers and these teachings, particularly about Emile Coué. A lot of the videos I made in the past summer, like in 2022, when I started doing car videos often, like July, August, September 2022, I talk about Coué in a lot of those videos. So if you haven't seen those, I was just checking them out. And speaking of Coué, let's read that quote one more time that I read the other day, which really summates the law of belief very well, in my opinion. One of the all-time great quotes when it comes to these various manifesting principles. Emile Coué wrote that if you induce in yourself a belief that you can do a certain thing, provided it conforms to the laws of nature, you are going to do it, no matter how difficult it may be. That is, that's a heck of a quote. Again, if you induce in yourself a belief that you can do a certain thing, provided it conforms to the laws of nature, you are going to do it, no matter how difficult it may be. That's utilizing your imagination. That is the power of belief. The power of belief. I'm putting my penguin sheet sticker back, bookmark back. And so, now I thought I would read a little bit more from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joey Murphy. I'm not going to, I don't even know if law of belief is mentioned in this section. This is right, a page or two or a few pages after the quote I read yesterday. I just wanted to read this section because it's near the beginning of the book, and it's one of my favorite parts of the book. I think I quoted a small snippet of it in my book, The Law of Attraction Simplified, a couple of years ago. But here's the longer quote. I just love this quote. I mean, or this passage, this passage is just fantastic. I think you'll find it helpful. It clearly ties in with the law of belief and everything we always talk about. Murphy wrote, "The practical application of the laws of your mind, as illustrated in each chapter of this book, will cause you to experience abundance for poverty, wisdom for superstition and ignorance, peace for pain, joy for sadness, light for darkness, harmony for discord, faith and confidence for fear, success for failure, and freedom from the law of averages. Certainly, there can be no more wonderful blessing than these from a mental, emotional, and material standpoint. Most of the great scientists, artists, poets, singers, writers, and inventors have a deep understanding of the workings of the conscious and subconscious minds. One time, Caruso, the great operatic tenor, was struck with stage fright. He said his throat was paralyzed due to spasms caused by intense fear, which constricted the muscles of his throat. Perspiration poured copiously down his face. He was ashamed because in a few minutes he had to go out on the stage, yet he was shaking with fear and trepidation. He said, 'They will laugh at me. I can't sing.' Then he shouted in the presence of those behind the stage, 'The little me wants to strangle the big me within.' He said to the little me, 'Get out of here. The big me wants to sing through me.' By the big me, He meant the limitless power and wisdom of his subconscious mind. And he began to shout, "Get out, get out, the big me is going to sing." His subconscious mind responded, releasing the vital forces within him. When the call came, he walked out on the stage and sang gloriously and majestically, enthralling the audience. It is obvious to you now that Caruso must have understood the two levels of mind, the conscious or rational and the subconscious or irrational level. Your subconscious mind is reactive and responds to the nature of your thoughts. When your conscious mind, the little me, is full of fear, worry, and anxiety, the negative emotions engendered in your subconscious mind, the big me, are released and flood the conscious mind with a sense of panic, foreboding, and despair. When this happens, you can, like Caruso, speak affirmatively and with a deep sense of authority to the irrational emotions generated in your deeper mind as follows. Be still, be quiet. I am in control. You must obey me. You are subject to my command. You cannot intrude where you do not belong. It is fascinating and intensely interesting to observe how you can speak authoritatively and with conviction to the irrational movement of your deeper self, bringing silence, harmony, and peace to your mind. The subconscious is subject to the conscious mind, and that is why it is called subconscious or subjective. Fantastic passage. One of my favorite passages in the entire book. And if you are familiar with my stuff, familiar with this channel, you know that I'm a huge proponent of doing what Caruso, the great opera singer, did in that situation, and what Murphy recommends, which is talking out loud to yourself, especially when you feel bad or anxious. Talking out loud to yourself, including yelling at yourself or doing whatever is necessary, is one of the best tools I know of to feel better. And it's also a manifesting tool. You know, I made a video about this. I've talked about it in guides like The Joy of Not Thinking and elsewhere. Like Murphy mentioned, you know, before I knew anything about these law of attraction principles intellectually, I did know about the power of talking out loud to myself. I appreciate it much more now, but when I understand the concept on more of an intellectual level as well as an emotional level. But like many people, like Murphy said, like a lot of artists and, you know, scientists, different creative people or what have you, you realize the power of being able to talk to this conscious mind when it's overwhelmed or overthinking, as I like to say. If you're able to talk to this mind that's overwhelmed authoritatively by speaking out loud, you calm it down. Your subconscious or your imagination, as Coué would say, they're the same thing. Your imagination goes from being frightened to calming down because you basically force it to calm down by talking out loud with authority to it. A very, very powerful passage. Obviously ties into the law of belief and shows you how quickly you can modify how your beliefs are, acting within you, how your reactions can change very quickly, and how what you are thinking can change really quickly just by behaviorally doing something out of the box, like speaking authoritatively to yourself. So I hope this was clear. What a wonderful passage. I mean, read it from the book or listen to this video again, because great passage and a great book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Have a great day. Any questions, let me know. RadicalCounselor.com.